Well, as the school year meandered along, as they do, slowly, it's going on, I get lonely. There's not a lot of people you can talk to when you're transgendered and you're in the middle of transitioning. You walk out of a restroom, and because I was presenting as male, I'd walk out of a male restroom, the men would stop and double check the door. I would go to restaurants, and because I was neither male nor female, both male and female, I would be refused service. I remember going with one of my best friends to a restaurant. Nobody in the restaurant, servers and waiters everywhere, and they all stood in the corner and wouldn't even come wait on us. They looked at us, they snickered about us, but they never would come wait on us, and I figured, my money is my money. I'm not going to give it to a company that doesn't want to serve me, so we left. And I learned something very important that day. I learned that that man that was at that restaurant with me is a real friend. Because you know, we left that restaurant and we went to another place and they did serve us. And we did have a good time and we're friends to this day. Very few people made the transition with me. I lost a lot of people when I did this. That school year was tough. Like I said, I was lonely. I caved in and I made the cardinal rule mistake that a lot of transgendered people did in the South. I couldn't keep my mouth shut about being transgendered. One night I was out with one of my coworkers and I blabbed. Alcohol sometimes does that to you, it makes you blab. And I told her that I was on hormones, I told her that I was stealth, and I told her I wasn't going to transition this school year, but I hoped that the next school year I would transition. She didn't know what to do with that bit of information from me, so she ran instantly to the principal and told him everything that I just told her, in confidentiality, friend to friend. I walk into school one day and the principal calls me to his office. I mean, it's one thing to be called to the office when you're in high school and a student, or middle school and a student, or elementary school and a student. But when you're an actual teacher and you get called to the office, you know it's not going to be good. So I make my way down to the office thinking, here it comes. I'm about to be fired. It didn't matter that all of my observations, all of my skills had been marked off as above average. I was a good teacher. The school system recognized that I was a good teacher and they gave me the marks to prove it. But that didn't matter with the principal. The only thing that mattered was, what are the kids going to think? What are the parents going to think? What are the taxpayers going to think if they discover that they've let a transgendered person teach their children? I did my best to stay calm during the meeting. It wasn't easy. I was for sure I was going to be fired. The principal sat me down and asked me if it's true what he had heard, that I was indeed taking female hormones and that I was indeed going to transition. My first real experience with having to be true and admit to the world that I am transgendered. I looked him right in the eyes and I said, yeah, it's true. I'm on hormones, I'm going to transition, and I'm a damn good teacher. He said, okay, go back to the classroom and we'll talk to you later. I'm like, yes, I've done it. I've just weathered the first storm. I have told somebody that I am transgendered in the teaching community. They have told the principal, and I still have my job. It didn't end there, though. Teachers at the school discovered that I'm transgendered also, even though I'm presenting as a male, and they are not happy about it. They bypass the principal and go to the superintendent of the school systems. I actually have a meeting then with the superintendent. The superintendent tells me the exact same thing that the principal did. Oh, that's okay, you're a good teacher. What we're going to do is next year, you're going to come back to a different school and you are going to be teaching as a woman. And I bought it. I thought, this is the truth. They're telling me the truth. He said, what you need to do is fill out the transfer paperwork. You need to make sure that you let the schools know that you want to transfer to them next school year. I began filling out the transfer paperwork, and then human resources get involved. And they say, no, 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 no. Instead of doing the transfer request like every other teacher in the school system did, we want you to give us your transfer request personally. And then we will hand deliver that to the schools for you. And we will talk to the principals for you, let them know what is going on, and that way we will find the best fit for you. This was perfect. I mean, couldn't have been getting any better. They were going to let me transfer. They were going to let me be a woman at the next school year. Everything was going to be fine, I thought. Well, the end of my school year at Northwest Valley finally comes to an end. The very next day, I walk out of the classroom to my hairstylist, shed all of my male clothing, have my hair cut and styled in a feminine style, and I never looked back. The woman that is here in front of you right now came into existence on that day, May 25th, 2005. Coming into existence, I guess, is actually not a good way to say it, because I'd always been in existence. I'd always been who I am, and I was always battling to be real. So I guess instead what I need to do is say that I presented to the world the way that I saw myself, and now the world got to react to me the way I saw myself. So I'm in heaven. I've done the transition. I'm living full-time as a female. The school is going to transfer me next year to a different school, and I wait. And I wait. And I wait. I never hear anything. So I contact them. I contact the Human Resources Department. I contact the Superintendent's Department, because one thing that I've learned during this transitional journey of mine is, if I'm not proactive for myself, nobody else will be. You can have angels plop into your lap all the time that help you get from point A to point B. But if you're not on that journey from point A to point B when the angels are plopping down, you're missing out. So I took things into my own hands and I approached them. They gave me this story that they didn't know that I wasn't a tenured teacher at the time, and that in fact, because I'm not tenured, they are no longer going to hire me for the school system of Knox County. Devastated, absolutely devastated. I mean, you find out that you're going to have it in life, you're actually going to get to transition, keep the job that you want, keep the school system you want, and then they pull the wool right over your eyes. They pull the rug right out from under your feet, whatever little silly saying you want to make for it. I didn't get a job.